Hey Bob, with the federal funds rate increases just announced, what kind of impact is that going to have on the real estate market?
Well, that's a good question that everybody is asking. What impact will it have overall in the economy? And we focus on real estate, so um, we're wondering also what impact that will have. The federal funds rate is something that you and I will never participate in. That's the rate that banks charge each other for shifting money overnight to different institutions. Why they do that, how they do it, and how it impacts us, um, no one will ever be able to explain fully. But having said that, any rise in an interest rate generally causes, not directly but indirectly, a rise in other interest rates. So, mortgages, for instance, generally are tied to treasury bond rates and not to this federal fund rate. But somehow the federal fund rate will gradually have an impact or a pressure on the uh, the, the T bills interest rate, which in turn is a benchmark for the mortgages. So it'll cause mortgages to start ticking up. That's fixed rate mortgages, the 15 and 30 years. And while the rate increase won't be immediate, it'll take some time for what the Fed did to trickle through the system and cause other interest rates to rise. You should be expecting a rise in mortgage rates. In terms of mortgage rates, we still should remember that rates now are probably in the 4.5 to 4.75 range, which is still great for people who remember the days it was 16% interest rate. And most of my practice involving real estate, I've closed for the majority of people, I would say, in the 6, 7, 8% range. Those were the ranges that, for most of my 37 years in practice, people closed in. So the sky isn't falling, the world isn't coming to an end, the market isn't crashing, but it will cost a little more money. You might not be able to buy as much of a house as you thought you could with the money you had, because the interest rates will be ticking up. The other thing that the Fed rate hike is doing, it will be causing HELOCs to go up if you have an adjustable rate loan, or if you have a credit line loan, those will start ticking up. If you have credit cards and automobile loans, those will start moving up also. And the effect of that is that it takes money out of the economy. There's only so much that money that an individual has, and every time something rises in that person's budget, something else will have to contract a little. But I don't want to portray gloom and doom. There are people who are making out on this deal. There are people who long suffered over making 0.00005% interest rate on money they put in the bank. It probably cost them more to walk to the bank or take a car to the bank or put money in the meter to go to the bank than it did for the money that they earned. But now they're probably enjoying what are 2% and even maybe mid 2% interest rates on CDs. Of course, we have to remember back when people were paying 16% for a mortgage, that there were companies giving 20% interest on different types of CDs and things like that. So there's a push and a pull in the whole financial market. The rise of the Fed rate will trickle through, cause everything to tick up a touch. Don't think it will be catastrophic, but there will have to be a little bit of belt tightening, and we'll see how they. There are also other factors impacting the housing market in addition to interest rates. So we will have to see how large of an effect that this Fed rate will have on the housing market.